feel good to be back stateside, or are you still aching to be out in the beauties of where you were?
Am I not in Italy right now? I feel like I'm in Venice at the moment. I smell the canals and I hear the bustling of the city below me. But no, never mind. That's just my dog. Yeah, no, I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm back.
Welcome back. Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
We had a little bit of
Thank
we had a
you.
little bit of fun last week. Hash Brown and I had,
You call
we
that fun?
decided we were going to go for about 35, 45 minutes. I knew it would run long, and then it went for about an hour and a half. And
Oh wow.
anybody who wants to just sit there and just zone out on us talking about our top 5 favorite video games of all time, Hash Brown and I, go ahead and check last week's episode. But this week we decided to roll with another topic because it was such a dude. I don't know. We were so flabbergasted. But before we do anything, I want to do something real quick.
So Taylor gets our intro now.
I felt like that was just something that had to get thrown in there real quick, man. That guy was a wonderful man to a lot of amazing musicians, and we really don't know 100% what happened, but I'm just getting, I don't know, man. I guess I'm just getting tired of seeing people that are around our age or a little older, because most of the rock stars that are alive right now that are huge are about 55. I'm sick of seeing them die from drugs. Like at this, I guess at some point in your life, you got to fucking know, dude, like, we can't do this. We can't keep doing this.
Yeah, but they talk so much, and I say they, people that are in the spotlight about what it takes to be there. And for us to look at it, it's just like, wow, man. I mean, you're famous. Everybody wants to be around you, and you just think that that's the life right there. But a lot of folks don't really understand that comes with a lot more. And especially once you start a family and you start to kind of change into that lifestyle of being a father or a mother, in addition to being somebody who's famous and well known, and just trying to navigate that, I think, is very difficult. It doesn't necessarily mean it needs to resort to drugs or to violence like we just saw recently. That happens occasionally when people get to a point of no return, their breaking point, so to say, which we all witnessed recently, and has a little bit to do with our show tonight.
It does. Nice little tie-in, man. I love that. I love that. Yeah. So before we keep rolling in, let's get the toasts and get the eggs, and
I'm hungry.
Go ahead. Let's add the hash brown to it.
I just lost my appetite. I was hungry till I saw that face. God damn.
Good.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
What's happening? Hash brown, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Having some technical difficulties on my part. I apologize.
That's
I'm
all right.
Like a little jumpy, but
You're
I'm
not
doing
that
all right.
Important anyway. You're all right.
It's all right, buddy. You
we
can take it out on me. No,
we like you. We like you jumpy anyway. It's nice.
All right. So listen, I guess maybe I know we'll probably here. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do
over there.
So here's the deal. These two freaking guys, including myself, because I've got an opinion, but I want to hear what these guys have to say about this. So we all obviously, if you don't know what happened between Will Smith and Chris Rock, then I applaud you, because I'd love to have your life, and I'd like to know how you've dodged that shit in the last 48 hours.
Don't watch anything. No social media.
If you don't
rock.
know, and if anybody who hasn't seen the video, I'm not going to show it. We're just going to get copyright blocks. Just a bunch of shit. If you haven't seen it, my God, what is wrong with you? Go to YouTube, Will Smith, Chris Rock. Just type that in. So anyway, I'll explain it to you. Chris Rock made a joke, as a comedian is hired to do at these events. So the comedian made the joke. Wah, 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 wah. The joke was about a person's hair. And the person whose hair was being made fun of happens to have a physical issue, which causes them to lose their hair, which was not funny to them, but was really funny for about 1 millisecond to their husband, who, upon hearing or upon looking at that person and seeing how upset they were, walked up on stage in the middle of this entire Oscars ceremony and slapped Chris Rock in the face. To which Chris Rock leaned in on it because he probably thought Will was going to walk up and say something to him so he could just say it to his ear. But then he slapped him and then went on to say, "Oh, I just got slapped in the fucking face by Will Smith, yada, yada, yada." So that is what we're here about.
Ridiculous.
There's a lot of stuff to unpack when it comes to the action, when it comes to exactly, what each and every one of us saw. So we're going to talk about that real quick. We wanted to say hi, though. Tammy, what's going on? Thanks for coming and hanging out. Yes. Hashtag
Hey.
Fighters for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
Sad.
Aaron Bailey, what is going on? Thanks for coming and hanging out as always. How have we been? Says Brian Smith.
Hey, Ryan.
We're doing good. We're doing very well.
We are. We're hanging in there, man. Doing our things over here.
Be red. What's going on?
In the house.
All right. So there's a lot going on in the background of Will Smith's life that we don't know. Yeah. So and here's what we'd like to say before we go any deeper here.
Yeah.
More likely had this coach's wife. Yeah. So here we go. I'm glad you guys are talking. So please keep talking amongst us talking. I love this because I want to be able to put this stuff on as Hash Brown and Ken Man are talking, and I want to be talking too. So I might as well just get my opinion out of the way real quick about this before you guys get real deep into what happened. Because like I said, there's a lot of stuff outside of what happened that is happening because of this. In my opinion, Chris Rock was not out of line, even if he knew that Jada had alopecia, whatever issue she's dealing with, even if he knew, this is still a comedian named Chris frigging Rock. If you don't know who Chris Rock is, then you're not allowed to comment on this because it really goes, it has everything to do with what happened during that joke. The joke was an innocent joke comparing Jada to G.I. Jane. Demi Moore in the movie shaved her head. There's a lot of other stuff attached to all that too, but it was really just a real quick joke. And Will Smith laughed at that shit until he looked at her. She wasn't too happy, and then he went and did what he did. I am always, and like I said in the episode we spoke about with comedians, I always will side on the comedian side. They're comedians. Chris Rock was paid to be there. He made a joke about a woman with short hair. Lottie fucking da. He didn't say anything about anybody having a terminal illness or making fun of people with Down syndrome or making fun of anybody who's got HIV or any other terminal diseases. He did a small joke about someone who had short hair, which, as my wife pointed out, she happens to look fucking amazing with short hair. One of the only women who could pull that shit off. Right. And it was probably more of a compliment than anything else. Anyway, that's me. Boom. You guys are on the clock, man. Hash Brown, what's up?
What's going on, man? I watched it. I don't even know if it was real. I feel it might have been staged. It didn't look as authentic. He went with the smack, and it's just, I don't know. And even if it was real, it shouldn't have happened. I think Chris Rock was totally in the right. He could crack as many jokes as he wanted. What's wrong with people? You can't say anything anymore. And then it's just really frustrating. But I'm doing good. Other than that, he's a comedian. He's allowed to do that. He's allowed to crack jokes. He should be able to crack the jokes.
Supposed to crack jokes.
And they should have some thicker skin, man. It was funny. She was laughing. He's got that. That's what it is. You know what's going on? Is what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, he never curses. He in all his music, when he busted out and said, "Don't keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth," and then he said it twice, really loud. Yeah, you can see he was snapping, and it was just because he reacted the wrong way, and Jada didn't like it, and that's what's messed up, man. He's under that woman's thumb, and he's really hurting. I feel bad for him.
I think that's a pathetic excuse for somebody who has gotten to the level that Will Smith has gotten to, not just in his acting career, but just overall in how he's modeled himself as a Hollywood citizen, as an icon, as an acting icon, a music icon, whatever you want to look at with him. He's always done it in such a way where he's modeled himself very well and to be accepted very well by large groups of people, because he could be this kind of family-oriented person at the same time, like you said, with his music without any curse words and stuff like that. So when it comes to what's happening in the personal lives of a lot of these comedians, actors, musicians, whatever it may be. When you are thrust into the spotlight like this, you have to have some level of ability to control yourself in those situations. So if people want to talk about it, and I saw some folks talking earlier here about Will Smith having issues behind the scenes, okay, great. And you just mentioned Jada's got him under the thumb, the whole deal with their explorations with sexually in their relationships, and they've been very open about that.
Open relationship.
And I know you feel that in somehow has made him feel like maybe less of a man, because now, his woman's out in with public. Other folks. Right. So
she's fucking his son's kid's best friend.
And that's whatever that is. I'm not saying that's great. That's whatever that is.
And then
but that's what it is. Then for that, then go, then leave, then just leave. That's when keeping it real is wrong. Nice, Cedric. So when you do stuff like this, when you try to and he's right, actually, it's when keeping it real is wrong, because Will laughed. Will laughed initially at the joke.
He should have just let it ride.
He knew that was coming from Chris Rock. You're sitting in the front row of an Oscars presentation. You are open game for being roasted, no doubt. And he understands
that. Should have deflected that, looked at Jada and go, raise his hands up and go, oh, well, shit happens,
Well, hey, grab her hand, tell her you love her, and that this is part of what, of what happens. Yeah. Bob's point earlier to state that he did not make fun of anybody with a terminal disease. She doesn't have cancer. It's not to make light of alopecia per se, but nobody's going to die from that. And at the end of the day, when you look at your level of jokes that people are telling, and I think we've said that in a previous show when we talked about comedians having a pass, this kind of goes 100%. To that perfectly. I mean, perfectly.
Because it's what he's saying right here.
Because he's creating this joke that he did, as Chris Rock often does, on the fly. That wasn't pre-scripted or anything. He may have thought of something like that, just seeing her out there. Who knows? But that's the kind of stuff that
she was wearing green too.
Right. That's the kind of jokes that you're gonna have. And I feel like the reaction from Will Smith was more the reaction from Jada, because had Jada not had that look on her face of disgust, of fear, of whatever it was, or
it's got to be tough, man.
He saw that and felt that he had to act.
I think it's crazy, because has anybody seen Comedy Central roasts?
Right.
I mean, I'm dead serious. Look, one of my favorite comedians
Will's been part of them.
Is Anthony Jeselnik, and Anthony Jeselnik says the most effed up S you'll ever hear anyone say, especially in his stand-up routine. I don't know why people are freaking out over what a comedian said. And again, I know that a lot of people are trying to be sensitive to Jada and the issue that she has, which is
she needs to get over
great.
Herself.
We're all
Karen of the world.
Listen,
bro.
we're all not like, oh, fuck her and her fucking hair issues. That's not what we're fucking saying. And we're certainly not thinking that's what Chris was saying. Whether he knew or not, listen, dude, that shit should have been handled on the hush. At the very least, in my opinion, if you wanted it, which no one fucking asked for, he could have easily just been like, hey, man, keep my wife's, he could have just yelled that and stayed in the chair the whole time without getting up and slapping somebody. I think
that to me lends to privilege. That lends to privilege. If that was, let's say Kanye came running across or something, just running across the stage, you'd have security people all pulling him off of there. If it was some guy that was just a guest of somebody, this guy would be being tackled. This is privilege, man. Will Smith is a privileged individual. He gets to do things that other people don't get to do because he is Will Smith. He can walk right up onto the stage. Nobody's supposed to be able to do that. And whether people think it's there or it's scripted or it's a part of it, I'm sure a lot of the people in the audience thought that this was scripted. This was supposed to happen. And they were very surprised by what happened, as obviously was Chris Rock, by the way he tried to pull it back together again and mixed his words. And he was
I didn't even watch that stupid thing.
Completely thrown off at that point. He threw everything off at that point because this guy just walks up because he has the privilege to do so. Anyone else would have been dragged off the stage, would have been pulled away, would not have happened. But this guy is able to do something like that. And that goes to the front row. Of course, but it doesn't matter where you are. You should not be able to walk up and do that, but you're Will Smith, so nobody's going to say a word. He won an award
that night, Ken, man. He won
an award. Who cares? He won the award later on that night. He also took away a lot of the glory from Questlove winning that particular Oscar that was being given out at that moment. That went to a movie that was made in kind of the another black movie from black artists that were trying to show the positivity of Black artists into these award ceremonies. This was positive. And then here you have another prominent Black actor going up on stage to strike another prominent Black comedian right in the middle of trying to give an award.
It's because of what's going on.
All I'm trying to say is that there's no reason that he should have the ability to walk up and do something like that. He was completely out of line. And to me, even worse than all of that is every MFer in there, all of these privileged folks that just gave him the biggest standing ovation when he won his Oscar. Does he deserve it?
Of course.
Good movie, whatever. But he just did something so out of line that I think they should have sat in their goddamn seats. And I'll give it to Zoe Kravitz and a few others that did. And they show that. She stayed right there in her seat. She's not going to stand up for that guy. He doesn't deserve a standing ovation for that. And all of the decades of what Will Smith has put together to build himself up to be this character came crashing down in about 25 seconds. All of it. And it should.
Because his wife looked at him funny. That's what it was.
A couple comedians came out and to the tune of, if any comedians get slapped on stage, Will better fucking pay for it. You know what I mean? Like there's this, you're setting a precedent right off the bat.
You are. And you're talking about a guy in Kentucky somewhere just doing stand up in a rowdy bar full of drunks that expect you to be funny. Now all of a sudden it's funny to go stand up and smack a comedian. Yeah, that's great. It's exactly what we were talking about just a few weeks ago. We're always ahead of the game here on this show. You guys got to understand that. We're going to throw this stuff out there, and then it's going to actually happen in the real world. So here we are reverting. We had a totally different subject tonight, but after all of this stuff, we're predicting the next presidency right here, man. Watch who comes down our escalator. But still, this is
one of the Jonas Brothers.
Hopefully not, dude. But this is an incident that I think is going to stick with Will Smith for a very long time. This is not going to go away. This is going to be something that is going to affect him individually. It will.
He needs
to leave. Nothing to do with that. That's nothing to do with it.
It has everything to do with it. That's what changed him. He was laughing. He was laughing. He was laughing, enjoying the humor of the joke until he saw Jada with a fucking stink ass face, like something exploded in honor. It's not her fault. And that's how he reacted to that. That was a slapstick reaction.
He didn't just watch his wife get struck by another man. That's when you can react and go protect your wife. Exactly. Or if you're gonna be in a situation where you're being threatened. She's not being threatened. She's not being threatened to be hurt. He even laughed at it himself. What he did in his head, he did in his head. Had nothing to do with her. He still should have been able to handle that in a much better way.
With his wife, what goes
on with his wife and
he's trying to be a man. He doesn't know. He's trying to prove his manhood to her. He's trying to prove his manhood to her.
That's what she was disgusted. Prove his manhood.
He was disgusted.
If that's the way he proves his manhood,
by her,
then he's not a man. I mean, honestly,
she was disgusted by him.
What has he done with that? You build up your career constantly. Everything you've done, you do it in the right way. And he knew damn well that standing up and walking in front of a live audience like that, in front of millions of people, and smacking somebody at one point he called a friend in his life, whatever that's all about, to just go up there and do something like that, regardless of even who the person is or even what the joke was. There was no threat to his family. He didn't have to impose physical violence on anybody right there.
He's having
I wish Chris Rock laid him out after that shit, man. Bullshit.
That's why he did it, because he did that because Chris Rock can't lay him out.
Yeah, you're right.
Duke Johnson, like somebody made the comment, if Duke Johnson would have been doing it, or if it would, anybody.
Duke Johnson's a good running back from UM.
Yeah, good Johnson, Dwayne Johnson or whatever. That's my bad. I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, he didn't really have a choice.
He wouldn't take it with Duke Johnson either, though.
No, but that's true. He probably wouldn't slap Duke either. You're probably right about that. But no, that's a good point. I mean, that's a good point. He knew he could walk up there and do that to somebody that was smaller than him and whatnot. But that at the same time, you're just setting again more precedents that go against exactly the kind of person that you've built your image on this for so damn long. And he absolutely destroyed it. In 30 seconds, he's destroyed everything he's built for decades. And it will continue with him, Bob.
I think it'd be crazy. I think it'd be crazy. Let's see. We got some folks. We got a lot of people talking here, and I knew it would be the right thing to at least talk about, because we're not gonna capitalize on anything by talking about this. I knew that there was a lot of facets to what happened. There's so many different kinds of eyeballs watching that incident. We were all three of us probably saw three fucking different things. Which, you know what I mean by that. We're gonna have three different opinions on that. So we've got some folks saying, and B Red was in there a couple times. He doesn't really think it was staged.
It wasn't staged.
Oh, so I think Tammy kind of started this mindset off here. It was so weird how Will Smith got to just sit back down and accept an Oscar after assaulting a host.
Privilege.
Right.
One word for that. Privilege. It was Will
Brian
Smith. That's why.
Chris Rock didn't press charges. Clearly, it was an assault. I would say yes.
And he could have, but I think Chris Rock did the bigger thing there too, to be honest, because Chris Rock wasn't injured in such a way that it was that physical violence created injury to him. It was more so of what it did to him emotionally, for sure, for Chris Rock.
Jordan says it was insane. He received applause after he excused his behavior by saying that violence is okay because of love.
Stupidest acceptance speech I've ever heard ever. And I don't watch these shows, so I don't have many to watch. But I'll tell you what, that was the shitty. He could have used that time right there. Maybe not even to fully apologize, but at least to express what he did and the way he handled it was wrong. Maybe to express what Jada's going through with alopecia. Maybe bring a little bit of that to light. Maybe use that time to put that reference out there to at least make people feel like, well, right, you're 100%. Spin that right around with your acceptance speech to try to put yourself in better light from what you did. But he didn't do that. And then he's at parties after dancing like everything is fine and great. He shows no remorse for what he did because he feels like he has to hold true to, that's what I did. This was my decision. This is what I did. So this is who you are now. This is who you are now, Will. Because if you're going to go around smacking people with open palms like that, you get your ass kicked somewhere. Eventually got to close that fist, my man.
Yeah, he didn't. He's not gangster. Jordana says, truth is, I think that the incident is indicative of just how unstable we are right now. It was truly a shocking and insane moment. Unfortunately, it's not the only moment of insanity that I've seen this year. As a people, we are not well, and people are snapping. And I think
yes, it's true.
No matter what opinions we have on any of this, we all can sort of agree that there's a bunch of different elements that might have led to what he said. But no matter what, at any point in time, was it cool for him to do that? And let me tell you, I guarantee you that doesn't happen with Will Smith at a fucking barbecue with nothing but friends and shit there. I guarantee you that doesn't happen. I guarantee you it's a conversation in a bathroom where he pulls Mr. Rock aside. Hey, man, what the fuck, man? Why'd you say that shit like that? Hey, man, fuck you. Who the fuck is you? And that's exactly what we're going to hear, because that's what you're supposed to hear from Chris Rock. He's supposed to give you lip.
Right, because he's a comedian. Like Dirty Dave saying right there, it proves Will Smith's not a comedian, because a comedian would never do anything like that. A comedian would understand that a joke was just made at my expense, at my wife's expense, at my family's expense. That's what comedians do. This was all of our topic just recently about this stuff. And it's really up to the comedian to kind of monitor themselves into where they're going to go with their jokes, to feel if they're comfortable enough wading into those types of territories. And certainly being able to make a joke like what Chris Rock said. I don't think it was inappropriate at all. I don't feel like it was anything. It wasn't even honestly that funny. To be honest with you, I mean, it was like, that was great. It was like, okay,
it was sort of low-hanging fruit.
Right, that's all it was. It was right there. It was easy. It was quick. He just put it in there and went right into his presentation.
Yeah,
and to take away the limelight from so much of the show, which is really what Will did, was a disservice really to the show itself, which I think award shows are so freaking ridiculous, stupid, fake bullshit
didn't even
anyway.
Know it was
but
even happening.
But the fact that you get these people together and they've got so much money and they're so well known, and I'm sorry, are you having a hard time through COVID too? Well, fuck you, man. The rest of America is having a hard fucking time, and we don't got 40 million in our bank account to try to make it a little bit better. So just get the fuck over it. Deal with whatever you're dealing with. We got morons slapping flight attendants on airplanes because they can't fucking hold themselves back. Now we're going to show that it's okay that fucking the tiny prince gets to go out and fucking smack people. That's fucking cool all of a sudden. Fuck the tiny prince. He's a tiny prince. He obviously has a little penis because Jada's looking for dick elsewhere.
Damn, bro. You got to, man, how empowered are you, bro? Like, I can't
understand how I'm not empowered.
If you're seeing a poor guy,
nobody.
You can't see Will Smith is going through some mad shit.
I don't give a fuck what Will Smith is going through.
Why
Who the
not?
fuck cares?
What
Why
human
the
being?
fuck do I care? Why do I care what Will Smith goes through? I just watched him in that King Richard movie. He was fucking spectacular. He's a fucking great actor.
Poor guy,
Why
dude.
the fuck do I care what he's going? You know what? I don't like Mel Gibson either. Mel Gibson talks shit about Jews. I don't like the guy, but you know what? He's a great actor. He's a great director. He does his shit. I don't give a fuck what goes on in his personal life. I don't give a fuck what goes on in Will Smith's personal life. I don't give a fuck about any of that.
That's probably a cry for help right there.
Why do I care about Will Smith? Why does any of us care about Will Smith? Cry me a river for fucking.
It's tough.
You're gonna let him. All right, dude. If you
fuck that
that's
guy.
ridiculous.
Fuck that guy. So he gets a pass? Oh man.
No, I'm not saying he gets a pass. I'm not saying he gets a pass.
I'm gonna go smack people on stage.
Who says get a pass?
You just told me. I'm privileged for talking shit about the guy.
The guy needs help.
What
with mental health.
Well,
his mental health, dude.
Kanye needs help with mental health, motherfucker. I don't know how much Will Smith needs it because Will Smith, just like you said a few minutes ago.
That's two now. I agree.
You just said a few minutes ago that he did all of this because of how he saw Jada and it was reactionary. You just said that. So is that mental health? That's mental health? No.
Yes.
That motherfucker.
She's got him under his stuff. He's trying to make himself freaking prove himself to her. She's got him freaking under. He's suffering. That
so
poor
that's
guy.
Mental health. So what does he need? Does he need a shrink to be like, oh hey, you need to get out of that relationship? Oh motherfucker, just leave the goddamn bitch and go do something else, man. You seriously think this man's got mental health issues?
I do. I think he's suffering, dude.
All right,
I think he's got
suffering.
some mental.
I feel terrible for the guy.
I feel bad for the guy.
Chad Hawkins might have been suffering a little bit, but not all worried.
I personally don't feel bad for Will Smith and really in that way. But here's the deal, and that's not to say that I don't feel bad for my friend who's going through the same shit. Not at all. It's very, very, very different. And it's not that I don't have empathy for somebody, all right? The deal is this. Like. When you take the job, first of all, when you take that job, which by the way was a couple different jobs for Will Smith when he first popped out, obviously Fresh Prince, DJ Jazzy Jeff, fucking great album. The first album was really good. Yeah, but when you take that job, you don't have really responsibilities, but you have to understand that comes with a major price. Now, his life is obviously on Front Street, all that good shit, whatever. I have always been of the opinion of this. I don't care whether I don't really give a shit what my entertainers, sports figures, musicians, I don't give a fuck what their political beliefs are at any point in time. And if they're going through struggles, I do feel bad for them, yes, but they are also well equipped to take care of these fucking issues. Much more equipped to take care of these issues than I am, and either of you two are.
Right.
By fucking any stretch of the imagination. So no, I'm not saying that I don't feel bad. All I'm saying is that regardless of whether it was a snap, and I don't think that even by saying the word snap, I think that's kind of giving him the ability to get off, but for what he did. Which is basically slap another man in the face, which is one of the most disrespectful fucking things you can do
on live television. In front of a live audience of your peers.
Total violation.
That was pretty bad, man. But I've always been able to say, you know what? I don't fucking care. Now, obviously, if they're abusing children, women,
right. No, of course. We talked about that. Hey, we talked about that. We said what he went after was low-hanging fruit. We talked about that even on our last show. There are things that you just don't touch, or if you do as a comedian or an actor or whatever you're doing to portray what you're about to say or explain what you're about to say, if you go into a topic that goes a little too controversial, you've chosen to do that. And if you've chosen to do that, then at that point, to me, you've set your own kind of stage as to what's going to come and everything that's going to come with what you just said. Now, for Chris Rock to have just made a joke about something as simple as he did, and that was very low-hanging fruit, and for Will to have to actually approach and incite violence upon him in the way that he did was, I mean, come on, man. Wrong, we've said it over and over again. But at the end of the day, I don't think it comes from a place of mental discord. I don't believe that at all.
You think it's just a privilege that he's lived that good life?
100%. 100% privilege. He knew he could get up and do it. He knew he could walk right up there and do it. Okay. No one's going to stop him. There's no security rushing the stage. Nobody's there to protect Chris Rock. Doesn't matter. It's Will Smith. What does it matter?
I would imagine that. I bet I have a feeling that when he was walking up to that stage, I think he was just I think he was running through a few options in his head. Slap him, talk to him, yell at him, some shit like that. Because he sat back down, obviously yelled what he said, keep my my wife's name out your fucking mouth, whatever.
Yeah.
Which easily could have just been the solution to all of this if he just sat down and been like, yo, yelled at, then it still would have been, oh, did you hear what Will Smith yelled? Like, he still would have got his moment in the fucking sun. He still would have won the Oscars. It would have been less awkward to clap for the motherfucker because he didn't walk up and slap another black man in the face in front of millions of fucking people.
I'm just glad,
I don't really understand.
People, no white guy did it. That would have been totally different.
So look, and I think the fact that people kind of dig into the fact that it is Chris Rock, maybe a smaller guy, but not a bitch by any stretch of the imagination, but a smaller guy compared to Will Smith. Sure. I think Sawatu said if The Rock was up there, does he do that or whatever the case may be? Right. No, there's definitely other options. But I guarantee you, Jada still looks at Will with that look. Even if it is The Rock on stage saying that shit,
but now the look she gave him for all of that and incite him to do it. What's the look afterwards? After he does that, is Jada like, oh, that's my man? Is that what that's true?
Is? Yeah, we don't know.
And if she is, what's that? That takes from her.
They didn't pan into that. They didn't even give that. They didn't give that. Not that I know of. I didn't see.
It's a great question, though. It's a great question. Like no one's asked that. Like, what is her face after the slap? Is she smiling?
Was she satisfied now? Was that what she needed from him? I mean, where's she at with that? Because does she feel more protected now? Oh, look what my man will do. She'll go.
I don't know. She's so done with him. She's so done with him anyway. It doesn't matter. I feel bad for him about that, with the relationship part. I don't think she, no matter what he does, it's like a catch-22 with her.
And Jordana's right with what she just said. I mean, there has a lot to do with people realizing what that mental health issues are and where they are, and that they don't show up so spectacularly in a sense of having it happen on live television like that. And I'm denouncing that fully because I don't think that's where it's coming from at all. Not that I know, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that is not at all the case at all.
You don't know enough about what's going on for that poor guy, dude.
And you do. So you're right. I should speak to Dr. Phil over here because you know exactly what's going on with them. I feel that we see a lot of this stuff spill out from actors and actresses and people in the spotlight, even musicians, a lot. And we are able to watch this in real time. We've even watched actors and actresses lose their lives because of a lot of the popularity and of everything that's come with it. So I feel like these things do play out often in front of people over the span of a career for folks. But Will Smith is someone that we've had a very large sample size to work with over time. So for it to come out like this towards the end after everything he's built for so long, I feel is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, he's just ruined it. Everything he's done for himself. 30
burn out the featherweight again.
Seconds.
Oh, Diana, it is great to see you, Diana. How you doing? Hello.
The memes are hilarious.
Yes, they are hilarious. Chef's kiss, indeed. There's some pretty good ones out there. I don't know.
There are some funny.
I don't know. I mean,
in Twitterverse.
Yeah, there are some pretty fucking funny ones out there. And again, I knew all of us would have something to say about this, man. It was definitely a knee-jerk reaction. Again, my take is just, if you're going to act like you've got a responsibility and you want people to take you seriously and what you say seriously, which he does on a lot of occasions, we've heard him kind of say like, I want to be heard. What I say, I want to be heard. When you go up and do what you did, you're doing that. You're consciously doing that shit. Mm-hmm. And he fucking went, buckled up, slapped, went back, got his shit. It was all. Yeah. He was fucking.
And then accepted his reward. And then accepted his award and did his whole speech. Didn't apologize to Chris Rock through any that could have used that time to do the right thing, and he didn't. And then all these scumbag hoity-toity little bitches all stood up and gave him this great standing ovation. You're all a bunch of scum in Hollywood. And Will Smith, fuck you.
Yeah, no, fuck him.
Oh shit! All right, hey, listen,
shouldn't have done it.
Ladies and gentlemen, on another note, if you haven't done so, please give us a ring at the Casually Serious Podcast burner phone line, 786-566-1736. If you haven't got that, at 786-566-1736. Give us a call, shoot us a message, send us pics, whatever you need to do. Doesn't matter.
We will get to them. I've got a bunch here, honestly, I didn't even have a chance to get to because we just bitched for 30 minutes. Sorry.
Yelling.
It was mostly Victor. I mean, hash brown, whatever your name is over there.
We do a yada 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 smear.
Mr. Manheimer.
Listen,
I forget what you call yourself, man. I'm going to call you eggs and bacon from now on.
I think we got out what we needed to get out, and
I'm not done. I need another half hour.
A couple people were like, "Oh, great, we're going to talk about this." Yeah, whatever. We had a conversation. If you didn't tune in, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, fuck off, like Will Smith.
Good Lord, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Will
Thank
Smith
you guys, appreciate it.
He did smack Chris Rock. We don't know.
Don't smack anybody.
Happen.
All right, don't smack anybody.
This.
The Little Prince.
I know tomorrow when I wake up very early to go to my job, I won't have millions of dollars like that motherfucker. So I'm not going to walk up and smack somebody either for telling it.
I also won't have alopecia when I go to work tomorrow too.
There's a lot of things that won't apply to any of us.
Victor might though.
I like ambrosia.
Oh shit! You like ambrosia? I like pizza. Have a good night.